This club's about winning trophies. I'm inexperienced in a lot of those things.
3-0. Sorry for smiling there.
Almost lost the cup and you win it. The new European champions, the treble, the dream come true for you.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell. But they never give in. And that's the winner.
Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we're bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
Woo, sir. How we doing? How we doing? It is July. The transfer window is open. Manchester United, are we in business? Not so much. But it is another transfer muppetry coverage. We're in it, sir. We are in the window. Smoke is finally starting to accumulate a little bit, but not fast enough compared to our rivals. And then the big news, dropping today, as I'm at the park with my son, CR7, looking to leave. How we feeling? How you doing? July 4th weekend. Happy birthday weekend to Big John. How we feeling, sir?
I don't know much to be true, sir, but I do know Manchester United are effed. Like, we are absolutely screwed. Screwed like my voice. Apologies, I am not 100% feeling under the weather, but you know what we say, pod never sleeps. We've been waiting for some news. There is a ton of meat on the bone to be chewed on this podcast. Ronaldo wants out. De Jong, full ticket. Can't get that guy in. Signing a bunch of players I've never heard of. Been watching a lot of highlight videos. It's full muppetry right now at the American Red Devils. I'm nervous. Preseason starts in 10 days. We're traveling sooner than that. A lot to do in this window, and Murtaugh and the whole Numpty, Richie, and the crew leaving it late.
Leaving it late. You know, a lot of clubs that we want to compete with in the top 4, top 6, whatever. Goalposts are always moving. They came out in June hot and heavy. I think you told me we were talking about it yesterday. We always talk about Manchester United. Can't kick this thing. We hadn't signed a player. First time we haven't signed a player in June in 10 years, I believe was the quote that you'd given me. I certainly believe it because by the fact, we had a new manager come in. There wasn't really a continuity plan there in terms of having Ralph kind of feed him information to the new man, Eric. But that being said, you would think you would have a player or two ready to rock in June. Not the case. It looks like we got our first signing in, a backup left back to Luke Shaw. Not bad.
He's not in yet.
Not
medical, pending medical.
Pending medical. We got to hear you go from Big Fab. But that being said, I'm worried about meat on the bones, players that can contribute to the starting 11 day one. And so far, the only one that we're hearing about is Frankie. And obviously, like you said, it ain't done yet. We can still get gazumped. So a lot of work to do.
I mean, we need a plan. I mean, the plan here has been no plan. The problem with Manchester United, look, these players. Tyrell, he looks like an exciting player, great prospect. I'm not going to bash any players coming into Manchester United. I'm full Muppet. I'm hyped for these names coming in. Martinez, a defender. I love a mean mugging Argentinian at the back.
Let's go.
I'm excited about these names, but for me, what's concerning and what has been concerning since the Glazers took over this club is the lack of a plan, the lack of a world-class director of football that can fill in a squad that can then go on to win things. We have 3 left backs. We're dying for a right back. Need a center back. Now we're going to need a striker. Now here's the real problem with the Ronaldo issue. Love him, hate him, whatever you want. Even with Ronaldo, we're light at number 9. So why didn't we go get Erling Haaland? Why didn't we go get Vlahovic? There's tons of options we've had over the last year, and we've known we need a number 9 ever since Mason Greenwood, his court case, etc. He's probably never playing for the club again. It's we need to get replacements in. That's where I view the director of football and a plan to be critical. We look like we're operating without a solid plan, which is why all of a sudden Ronaldo says he wants to leave. And now who's going to play number 9 for Manchester United? Absolutely incredible. And if you think we were scrambling right till this point, we're really scrambling now because Ronaldo's not going to get a big fee at all. We don't have that much money. And now we need to replace 24 goals they scored for us last year. Whatever you think of Ronaldo, the idea that he could blow a hole in our plan or this wasn't figured out If Ten Hag didn't want him, then get rid of Ronaldo. It should have been figured out a month ago. That's my real gripe here is you can see in the front office, it's an absolute shit show.
There's no continuity plan, right? The director of football, even when Ralph was around, wasn't kind of highlighting the vulnerabilities in the team. And like you said, losing Greenwood, losing Cavani, and then banking on Ronaldo to carry you and play, 40-plus games next season? That's a stretch, given the fact that, hey, we just finished outside the Champions League. That's important for a player of Ronaldo's caliber who is towards probably his last years in Europe, and he's going to want to play in Champions League. So they should have anticipated this when there were more players available. I'm excited about some of the noise we're hearing. I like you said, Tyrell, he fits the mold. If he was kind of the fifth or sixth signing in the bunch, right? If he's one of six, then I'm all about it. But we need contributors to this squad like immediately. Players that can slot in and be an upgrade for who we have in their positions in the starting 11. And nothing makes me more worried than all of a sudden losing CR7, which I believe has legs. I don't think this is a case of Erik ten Hag not wanting him. I think this is a case of Ronaldo being like, show me your ambition, and he hasn't seen any of it yet. He's seen a lot of smoke. One signing, which, like you said, isn't even done yet, and it was a £13 million signing, which is the kind of players we should be buying as well, in addition to kind of big name signings. But you lost out on the lad that went to Liverpool. You lost out on the backup striker that City signed, Alvarez, and we're just kind of sitting on our hands. And all of a sudden, not only do you have midfielders to sign, maybe another center back, but you also have to replace CR7, who is irreplaceable, sir.
Like I said, 24 goals. It's hard to replace. I mean, Sancho, could he hit 5 more and get 10? Like, yeah. Could Rashford hit 10? Yeah. Could you replace 10 of those just on vibes? For sure. But you can't replace 24 goals. You need a player in. And this is the problem, which is we got Ronaldo to probably agree to stay. I don't think it has anything to do with Champions League football. I think it has to do with him reading the writing on the wall. He played for a year. He saw it was a shit show. Rangnick called it open heart surgery. And, oh, by the way, Tony Martial, he's going to come back and play for us. Nobody's leaving. Nobody's coming in. He's like, get me out of here. That is the problem with Manchester United. It leaked over a week ago. He's not happy with the business. He doesn't think they're backing Erik ten Hag. And that's why he wants to leave. So if you think this is about him winning Champions League, that's just the narrative. Like, he wants United to actually show him that he's serious about actually putting up a chance to win a league next year. And they're not doing it. So I think that's ultimately what's driving him out the door. But, sir, we could whinge all day about the state of this club. 10 years since we haven't signed a player in June. Unbelievable. Let's get into a PSA for the podcast, sir. We have our end of the season survey up. Please fill it out. It helps us go a long way. We basically want all the feedback from you guys, the fans. We were trying to get better. If you could fill it out, it's pinned on our Twitter profile. We'll announce the winner in about a month. If you put your email in, you can win $100 in American Red Devil swag. So please fill it out. It takes about 5 minutes of your time. Goes a long way to helping the podcast. Also, please check out our Discord channel. Tons of Muppets talking about transfers. I feel like the transfer season is when the Discord is the hottest. We have our In the Know source there as well. Not a lot going on, but a lot going on Discord channel. So a lot of chatter. It's absolutely a riot. There's an invite pinned on our website. Check out our Discord. Also, we don't have any sponsors on the podcast. You want to support us, check out our Patreon page, www.patreon.com/American Red Devils. Big shout out to we had Chris Taylor sign up in late June as well. Big shout out to you as well. And then, sir, we have our website, www.americanreddevils.com. Click on merch, click on the store. We're working on the Glazers Out scarves. We got scarves, hoodies, shirts, everything in between. Everything you buy supports a small-time operation. Help me get some cough drops. I need them at the moment. Sir, tell them about iTunes reviews.
iTunes reviews or 5-star reviews of the American Red Devils, wherever you listen to this pod, whether it be on iTunes or Spotify or whatever, is a great way to support us. It doesn't cost any money and it helps us get found by other fans like yourself organically. All you have to do, write a 5-star review wherever you listen to the American Red Devils podcast. If it's cheeky, even better. And then send a screenshot to AmericanRedDevils@gmail.com with your mailing address. And I will personally send you some free ARD merch. Even if you've already written a review, don't worry. We won't tell nobody. Great way to support the pod. And we'll send you some gear straight to your door. Get you hooked up for the summer. Sir, ready for some news?
Let's get into it.
Right, let's bring you the latest transfer news now. And what is emerging is potentially some worrying news for Manchester United fans. Michael Bridge joins me on set. What can you tell us?
Yeah, Emma, this is an exclusive in the last hour, according to the Times, that Cristiano Ronaldo has asked to leave Manchester United should the Premier League club receive a satisfactory offer in the transfer window. To repeat, this is according to the Times in the last hour. It's said his decision said to be driven by a desire to play in the Champions League for the remainder of his career. That he's been part of the Champions League for 19 consecutive seasons since Sporting Lisbon for Manchester United. He's never played in the Europa League. That's where United will be playing this season. Of course, finishing 6th last season. He's believed to feel that he has 3 or 4 years left at the highest level of the game and would like to spend them at a club where he's capable of adding to his team and individual achievements. And according to close friends, Ronaldo's affection and respect for United's support remains as strong as ever, in addition to pursuing a transfer on sporting grounds. However, there are personal reasons for leaving Manchester after, of course, a difficult period for his young family. I
mean, if this report is true, this is certainly not what you want to be hearing if you're Erik ten Hag at the moment.
No, it's not what he wants. They go on their pre-season tour next week, you know, and one of those parts of that tour is in Australia. So, you know, he doesn't want this. And in his press conference, when asked about Cristiano Ronaldo, he said, yes, of course, he's part of my plans. You know, he's lost Paul Pogba, Matic has gone, Lingard has gone, Cavani's gone. Now, a lot of those were leaving anyway, but he hasn't had replacements in as of yet. This is not something Erik ten Hag would want or need as it stands, of course.
And this news comes off the back of the fact they haven't actually made a single signing yet this summer. We've got City signing Haaland, we've got Liverpool bringing in the likes of Darwin Núñez, we've got Tottenham making a whole number of signings. Are they any closer to bringing anyone in?
Well, this is where there is potentially some good news for Manchester United, Emma, because we do think this will change very soon. Tyrell Malacia is probably going to be the first player in, the left-back. Wants to come to United. They're finalising personal terms. A medical could be this weekend as well. And the club are confident of finalising that move over the coming days. United beating Lyon to that signing, a Dutch left-back. More news on incomings we've got in the last hour is Lisandro Martinez. He's told Ajax he wants to move to the Premier League, but he's yet to decide whether it's United or Arsenal. He took time out of his holiday last Tuesday to have a meeting with Ajax in Amsterdam. We can reveal that. And he's gone back on holiday now and he's making a decision about where he wants to play his football. What we do know is he wants to come to the Premier League, but what club? Manchester United or Arsenal? But we have been told, though, he does love working under Erik ten Hag.
All right, OK. Could that be the main factor then? Michael, thanks for now. No doubt you're going to be very busy talking about Manchester United for the coming weeks, for the coming couple of months as well. Right, the transfer.
Well, there we go, sir. That is some news, and that is not news that Erik ten Hag wants to be hearing. That is not news that I want to be hearing. I know it's not news that you want to be hearing. And it's understandable. He talked about sporting reasons. He still loves the club. I know he does, but he's only got 3 or 4 years left, like he mentioned, in Europe at least, trying to play in the Champions League. Why wouldn't he want to play in the Champions League? 19 years straight. I wouldn't want to do that straight. 20 is pretty sweet. It's a lack of ambition, right? That's got to be what it is, lack of ambition.
Sir, there's no greater Ronaldo Muppet than me. You know, I'm gonna go through June 22nd. Rumors coming out. You know, this is 10 days ago. Ronaldo could leave if Manchester United do not quickly deliver transfer results. That's what the rumor started 10 days ago. I mean, like, we're sitting here, hey, June, you haven't done anything?
Nothing.
So you can even go farther back. So we end the year, obviously miss out on Champions League. Horrid end of the season. And then you had this whole, like, Ten Hag, Ronaldo smoke coming out where Ten Hag and Ronaldo wants him. Ronaldo was excited about working with Ten Hag. Okay, Ronaldo's going to go on vacation. And I'm sure Murtaugh and everyone promised Ronaldo, hey, we're going to, like, really do a lot of work this summer. You know, just like they told us. There's a lot of work to do this summer. A lot of money to spend.
A lot of money.
He goes on vacation, and it's like, nothing's happening. And it's like, then this rumor comes out, hey, if nothing happens, then, you know, I don't want to be here. That's 10 days ago. Then we had the rumor June 25th. Mendes talking to Chelsea with Todd Bowley, the new owner. Ronaldo was offered. Then United came out and they said he's not for sale. And then that was probably them quietly behind the scenes trying to figure something out. Then on the 27th, Fabrizio Romano said this: Cristiano Ronaldo expects Manchester United to show ambition and total support to Erik ten Hag. What kind of OG is Ronaldo? He came back to United, put up 24 goals, put the team on his back. He's a consummate professional. And he's calling out the board to back Ten Hag and get some players in. And they do nothing. And then now today, it's the full court press. He wants to leave. Because he doesn't want to, he's not going to, I have to collect my thoughts. He's not going to sign up for another season like last year. And if the board is not going to do anything in the summer, why would he want to come back? I do agree with that. If United signed Nunez, they signed De Jong, they got Eriksson, they signed another, say you sign another center back and insert Tyrell here, yeah, you could sell Ronaldo on that. But they don't got nothing. And so he's going to want to leave. That's literally it. And as fans, this shouldn't be this great debate between we're better without him or we're better with him. This is showing you the front office doing such a bad job that our best player wants to leave because the writing's on the wall of how shit next year is going to be.
He saw how shit last year was, and he doesn't want to mark his resume with another experience playing with a dysfunctional team and playing under unambitious owners. And I imagine it went something like this. Like you said, he went on vacation with his family for a couple of weeks, hanging out on one of his yachts, looking at Twitter, looking at what's going on, and he sees ambition in other clubs in the Premier League, throwing around real cash, buying young, up-and-coming players that contribute this upcoming year. And United, who needs help more than any of those other teams, did nothing, sir. Nothing to date. So even if we get some signings in, which is great, it's the level of ambition that you show at the gate that kind of just sends a message to the rest of the league and to your own players, right? Trying to keep face. And if we lose Ronaldo, that's a big hole to fill. That's a lot of goals. That's a lot of leadership. And I was very hopeful that he would get to play a part in this new look Erik ten Hag regime, even just for a year. But losing out on him is going to be massive, and I think there's nowhere else to look but the top because he wants to see real moves, hundreds of millions of dollars spent. Nunez, I'd imagine that would have gone a long way, even though it's a player that is going to be competing for his spot. But it just shows that United are willing to put in some fight, and instead, it's haggle FC. We're dragging our feet. And now I think he's saying it now, right? July 2nd, because it gives him enough time to get sold. Because that's the thing, is you wait too long, it takes a while to line up buyers. Ronaldo, laying that shot out early in the summer, right before we go on tour, that he wants out. And this is being corroborated everywhere, sir.
Look, he's on a 2-year deal. United don't need to sell him. And so United aren't selling anybody. So if you can't even sell Eric Bailly, why are you going to sell Ronaldo? At the end of the day, for me, it's not are we better without him?
Not even a question.
For me, it isn't. But you also have to take the other side of the coin. Erik ten Hag wants a hardworking, young, pressing team, right? Ronaldo isn't that player. But I view it as, hey, how many players are leaving? How many players are coming in? Not a lot. So the idea that we're going to get this high-energy, young, high-pressing team next season is going to be transition season. You're going to need to try Harry Maguire just because they're not going to sell him. What did I say? They're not going to sell Harry Maguire for a loss. I said, show me who they sell, and that will show me the intention if they really support Erik ten Hag. Get rid of Anthony Martial. No, they're not. They're going to shove him on Erik ten Hag. So this is going to be a transition. It's going to take longer for Ten Hag to get to that team. So Ronaldo being a part of it, while it isn't ideal, and I do agree, it's not what Erik ten Hag wants. There's bigger fish to fry. We got bigger problems. We have other positions we need to replace. And the real kicker for me is how the front office fumbled this, because clearly there was some hope that he would stay, even without Champions League football, because I think it was really all about Champions League. My expectation was he wouldn't stay if we didn't make the Champions League. Like, that is it, 100%. I do think he was open to it if United brought in a bunch of players and he was excited about the project because he could get around maybe challenging for a league. And short of that, he wouldn't play. And so clearly the front office has fumbled this. And then now we have to change tack midway because we don't have a number 9. And there are no number 9s out there. And think of all the number 9s that have been sold over the last year. And we're just sitting here twiddling our thumbs into the abyss of another season where we don't have players at a position we need. And this is why United are so far behind it. So far behind it. It's like if Ronaldo was going to leave, you need to be in for Jesus. Do I rate Jesus? I don't. But we need someone to play the position. And it sure as hell ain't Tony Martial, who scored 2 goals last season.
Go through that list of players that moved, sir. It's a good point. It's like now you're stuck in a lurch because the striker is traded early this summer already. There's actually been a ton of movement in that position specifically, such an important position, especially for United. And like you said, we need a midfielder. We need a holding midfielder. We need another center back. We needed another attacker anyway, even with Ronaldo. We needed a number 9 to back up Ronaldo. So you can't even now take a punt on a young striker. If you lose CR7, you need a proper striker, like you said on the Discord, join Discord. Is that you need someone that can score 20 goals for you in the Premier League, and Ronaldo can do that. And Ronaldo provides leadership that this team is dying out for. And like you said, he's only got 1 year left, but at least if he was around, and the club was showing ambition in the transfer window this summer early out of the gate, and they might put together a half-decent summer. It might take them too long, but like you said, it gives Ronaldo enough semblance to know that this is not an ambitious club with these owners, so he's going to spend his career elsewhere. If I was Cristiano Ronaldo, I'd be looking to get out too, and I think you would as well.
Oh, absolutely, but here's the thing. It's like running a football club, it's all about hitting singles. And when it comes to players you got to replace, like Paul Pogba and Matic had to be going in for a CDM in January or last summer. You have to do it. The replacement needs to come in a year before for the overlap. So the replacement number 9 should be this summer and play behind Ronaldo, right? Because anyone you sign from a different league is going to need time to acclimate to the Premier League instead of just like putting all the pressure on a new signing or all the pressure on someone who's too young, like Alanga, for example. Like I think he had to do too much last season. I just think that's not the way Fergie did it. He had veterans who played. He had younger prospects coming up behind them. They played together so that some of the things Ronaldo did can rub off on the youngsters. You should begin your replacements in like 6 to 12 months before players are going to leave. United are always – there's no semblance of strategy from the director of football perspective, and it doesn't surprise me because we don't have anyone with any experience at the club. Now, if I was a director of football looking at next year, you have to go through United's goals. So defending was horrific, but scoring was okay, not great. It was like one of our lower scoring seasons, and it was unbelievably concentrated with Ronaldo. He scored 24 goals in all competitions. The next player behind him, Bruno, with 10. And Greenwood with 6. Oh, by the way, he's out. You got to replace him too.
You do.
We need someone on the right. Sancho, 5. Rashford, 5. Fred, 4. Elwanga, 3. Martial, 2. You take those 24 goals out, that blows a hole in our side. And there's no way anyone can tell me that if you're going to lose, Ronaldo, Greenwood, Cavani, and Martial is pretty much just like you got to write them off. Those 4 players, we need to get replacements in attack. Ronaldo leaving as for a director of football is you got to go find the goals and you got to find players. You need a right winger and then you're going to need a number 9. And by the way, you probably need another number 9 because you need someone to play behind him. It's crazy how behind the 8 ball we are already. And this just blows a hole into the entire team. And don't even get me started on the Glazers and the fact that we don't have the money.
No, I think all the fans have heard us rail on about the Glazers long enough, but I think it speaks to, they should be able to reinforce all of these areas that you discussed. You should be able to buy a bang-on number 9. We should have gone for Nunez or someone else or Holland even before that. A right winger, I'd like to hope that we could use one of the new kids being Ahmad or Facundo because we spent
They're
all that
not
money on
ready.
those. Of course they're not ready. Of course they're not ready.
not
But
ready.
that was
Those kids aren't
speaking
ready,
to the disconnect with having no DOF. We should have taken punts on CDMs or CBs instead of like right wingers. Then you buy Sancho and you play on the left, you play on the right. You should play on the right, maybe play Rashford on the left. But that being said,
you understand
you have to
that
back up. You have to replace Greenwood, and we haven't done that. It doesn't look like we're going to do that. And now you're going to be in a case where you have to also back up or replace Ronaldo, sir, and he's irreplaceable. So what do? We have no money to spend, and we weren't even going to focus on the attack. Apparently, was the rumor they're going to do midfield and defense until this news broke today.
Look, and this is the real issue. We're talking about Manchester United. This is Manchester United podcast. I feel like sometimes I have to remind myself, this is Manchester United. It's not like we don't have a striker. We got like 4 of the best in the world. Like that's how this should be played. Haaland went to City. Nunez went to Liverpool. Vlahovic went to Juventus. Lukaku went to Chelsea and then Inter. Obviously, I don't rate Lukaku, but if you look at his scoring record across all competitions, he's up there. Jesus, I don't rate him, but he went to Arsenal. That's a player. And Lewandowski, he's about to leave.
He's going to Barca.
We're linked with none of them.
None of them.
We're linked with nobody. And who is going to play number 9? Rashford? Martial?
Oof.
Really?
Oof.
Rashford has to play on the left, Sancho on the right, then Martial up front.
Oof.
That's it.
Martial.
That's all we got.
We're in trouble.
And by the way, Martial gets injured often, right? How many games did Rashford play? How many games did Sancho play? And that is it. You have Anthony Elanga. He's young. You have to give him time. Like, I love Elanga. I think he's great. If you look up his stats on Football Reference, it's like his stats weren't that good because he's young. He needs time. I'm not going to criticize Elanga. I'm just saying he's not ready for the limelight. This is Manchester United. You can't be starting day one with Rashford, Sancho, and Martial. That's not a team. Too many question marks, dude. Like Rashford might be broken. Sancho, I'm all in on Sancho, but Martial, like, you kidding me?
Rashford, I have faith in. Rashford, I have faith in that, like, with a real coach, that maybe we can see some real. Dude, we've seen him. He's a top player on his day. Martial, I think the Martial, like, that boat has sailed. So, like, I think we should try and get rid of Martial and bring in at least one player, one striker, assuming Ronaldo's still there, and if not, like a young one and a bang-on striker. And I think at this point, you have to try and go all in for Lewandowski. Like, that would be the play. If you're losing Ronaldo, you got to do old striker FC United, bro. Bring in a 34-year-old who's still banging goals. That's probably got to be the move. This, because everyone else is traded, and Barca is still waiting to get the De Jong deal done in order for them to be able to buy Lewandowski.
Sir, we're like the old guy at the club wearing the outdated outfit.
I know, bro.
You know?
I know.
Like dancing on the floor. People are like, ooh, like walking away from us, dude. You know, like, it's like, hey, you don't want to play with friends.
Stay away from those guys. Stay away from those guys. They keep talking about how great United used to be.
You know, this is a mess. And you know what words will ring in my head? Open heart surgery.
Uh-huh.
And we're seeing anything but open heart surgery from Manchester United at the moment. And if Ronaldo's not going to be here, then you need to be in for Haaland or Nunez or Vlahovic. Like, those are real players that you can't let move, you know? We missed out on Benzema back in the day. That matters. We missed out on Aguero back in the day. That matters. These names don't move often, and you need to be in for them. And, like, I thought Ronaldo was a stopgap option, but, like, it looked to me like we were just going to – that's it. Ronaldo's our only option, really. You know, and then Martial behind him. That was going to be our solution for attack next year. And then now, boom, this blows up a big hole in Manchester United. And this is why you can't be trying to play with Ronaldo and Martial at 9 for a season. It's because if something goes wrong, Ronaldo goes down with an injury, you're fucked. Or if Ronaldo wants to leave late in the window, you're fucked. And United just seem to be always making the wrong decisions. How long do we have to play without a squad that's like how long do we play without a midfield?
Years.
2 seasons?
2 years.
2 seasons without a real midfield at Manchester United? How many years after Lukaku before we replace him with a top draw number 9?
Ronaldo?
But that's
Cavani?
only a 2-year option. So Ronaldo gives you 2 years, you got to bring someone else in. We knew Cavani was leaving. These are the problems with United. It's now the one thing that does get me excited is Erik ten Hag. He looks like a no-nonsense coach, and if someone can get the best out of Tony Martial, like, maybe he could. But you can't bank on that. you can't bank on like all of a sudden these players like finding their best form in the last 4 years.
My optimistic streak, because we have to be, can't be just down, 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 because I know this news hit today, sir, and it hits you particularly hard as the number one CR7 fan I know, is that, okay, the Eric Ten Hag era has officially begun. Some of the players are back from their summers off and are in preseason training with him. He looks like a proper nutter, bro. He looks super dense. He looks like he run a tight ship. And I think there has to be something that said, it's not going to get us to win the league with this lot, but I think we'll see a lot more out of the players, the ones at least that are willing to stick around, because we haven't had a proper coach like that since Jose, and even Jose had too much salt that like it would irk a lot of players, or at least he went sour after a while when United stopped investing. And I'm hopeful that Eric can make the most of the players he has who have talent, like the Sanchos and Rashfords of the world. I think Harry Maguire could turn him back into at least a $40 million player, sir, instead of a $4 million player. Like he said, that video you sent me is pretty brutal. But that's got to be the thing that we're hopeful about is like the front office ain't doing nothing for him. They're dragging their feet, taking everything as long as possible. Dude. I mean, one thing if you just had to replace, it's not vibes. It's like he's an actual coach. He's like, a real coach.
No, I agree, but like.
Vibes. I mean, vibes.
That's vibes.
That's like the new way they're doing Instagram photos on Man United's account. Like they're switching up. That's vibes.
How long? Yeah, okay, I agree. How long did it take Sir Alex to come in and like get a real team behind him?
6 years.
I mean, it took a few years for him.
It took a while.
And it's like, dude, Ronaldo plays for us next year or he doesn't. I don't care. I just don't think that you can afford to let Ronaldo leave and not be in for Holland. You know what I mean? I don't think we can be Manchester United. I don't think we can be Manchester United and try to win the league and try to win the Champions League and not be in for these players. That's all I'm trying to say.
They ain't trying to win those two things though. They're trying to just be in the top four.
Well, then that's a whole nother. So that's all I'm being critical of. Is the front office not delivering for a manager who can deliver that? I think Eric Ten Hag can deliver the EPL title if backed properly. And all I'm saying is, yeah, he's probably going to do better with some of these players, but he's got one arm tied behind his back already. And this is just how United's going to operate. It's how it operated with, you look at Moisey and who he was linked to and who
that window. Remember that window?
that was one of the worst windows of all time, you know? And you go down the list. LVG, Mourinho, Ole, and then now Eric Ten Hag. And it's just one of those things where the writing's on the wall. The front office is just in shambles. But hey, let's talk about our first signing here. Tyrell Malacia to Manchester United. Here we go from Fabrizio Romano. He agreed on personal terms, waiting to sign the contracts. We did steal him from Olympic Lyon. They were in for him. He'll be the first signing of the Eric Ten Hag era, pending the medical. What are your feelings about Malacia, another Dutch youngster here?
The new man likes it Dutch. He's going to keep it that way. I like this signing if it's like one of six. You know, back up to Luke Shaw, someone who's a long-term prospect. Good price. I mean, this is the type of price that we should be buying players because we need, like you said, we need bodies. Ralph was right. We need like 10 bodies, and this is one of them. He's got a lot of talent. He's quick. He's good in open space. Apparently, he's got good situational awareness, good tackler. So excited about this one and the gazump. I love the gazump, sir. I got to give some credit where credit's due. At least this seems to be a move that it seems like Murtaugh and crew are picking up on, which is like you let other teams agree the fee and then you just swoop in and give them a little bit more.
Yeah, that's because you don't know what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but hey, it's better than Ed Woodward. It's better than Ed Woodward.
Yeah.
So I like it long term, but he's not going to be someone that slots in day one and contributes to the starting 11 that's going to help us finish in the top four because, dude, he's a project, bro.
Don't say that. And win the league. I'm not.
So the goal point, we ain't never winning the league while the Glazers own us, bro. It will never be their ambition. They will never try hard enough or care enough or put enough money into this team that's going to be required to win the league. And now in the modern era where all of these teams that we're fighting against have their shit together.
No,
well financed and well run. So
I concur. I concur. Now look, I like this signing. Like you said, Tellis, he's probably got to go. I just don't think. I think this is more like a young and upcoming, hungry player who could play behind Luke Shaw. You know, he's versatile on the attack. Ten Hag saw him while he was coaching at Ajax. And yeah, I think this is a great sign. You can't say nothing about it. And, we'll know in 2 or 3 years if he's going to be like take over and own the position. But, I like the highlights I've watched, and this is a good signing. But like you said, this is like the trimmings. This ain't the real meal. Like the real meal is Holland and De Jong and like proper players.
It's like cranberry sauce at Thanksgiving, sir. It's like
exactly,
take the turkey or stuffing, bro, or mashed potatoes.
This is the trimmings, and I'll take it. It's a good side dish. It's not bad, but I'm holding out for that main meal. Okay, next signing here. Another Ajax player came out of nowhere this week. Lisandro Martinez. Arsenal were looking at him. We're trying to gazump on this one. He's an Argentinian defender, 5'10". He is great at playing the ball. He has a tackle in him. Exactly what Ten Hag wants. He can play the high line, at least in the Dutch league. He's got the skills. What do you make of this rumored signing?
Once again, another gazump, especially in front of Arsenal. So I like that. It's
not done though.
Not done. No. But he does want to play for Eric, and I think that will be the advantage that United needs to get this player in the door. Obviously, Ten Hag rates him. It doesn't seem like we're going to be able to get multiple players out of Ajax. So I like that we're not getting another Dutch player because we're obviously De Jong is someone they're going after. He's obviously Dutch. So the Argentine, he's a good ball player. I was saying to you, he's like an Argentine Daily Blind. Does have a tackle in him. He's young, and he knows what Eric Ten Hag expects. He knows the work rate that's expected, the style of play, and I think that will be an advantage because he's a player that can slot in, and he can play in a number of different positions. So he can play center back, he can play CDM. I think he can play both fullback sides. I'm bullish. I like an Argentine. I don't know what his sleeve tat situation is, but if he had that, he'd be the full package. I'm excited about.
No,
this
he's got
potential.
a full right sleeve.
Yeah, perfect. Now we're talking, baby. Argentina's special.
Getting into the stat sheet, as far as center backs in the last year per 90 minutes, he's the 99th percentile in assists, expected assists. He's 95th percentile for non-penalty goals and expected assists per 90 for center back. He's in the 98th percentile. Shot creating actions, 99th percentile. Passes attempted, 99th percentile. Progressive passes, 99th percentile. Progressive carries, 96th percentile. He's an absolute beast. And listen to this.
My favorite.
Tackles per 90, 99th percentile.
99.
This guy, this signing shows you what Ten Hag wants. He wants people that are not afraid on the ball on the back line.
Yep.
Harry Maguire is an absolute coward on the ball, which is why we should sell Harry Maguire. John Murtaugh, sack up and make moves at this club that are going to change the dynamic, change the locker room for the better. Bring this kid in, but there's no point in having Phil Jones, Eric Bailly, Victor Lindelof, Harry Maguire, and Lisandro Martinez. There's no point. You need to get rid of somebody. So this is my only criticism. Now, what Ten Hag wants, he wants the high line. He wants a center back that can pass it forward, he can carry it forward, and he can put in a tackle. Why does he care about putting in a tackle? Because when you play the high line and you get beat, you're going to need recovery, speed, and tackles. He rates low in blocks because obviously they're not blocking much. They're playing that high line. Clearances, he's 16th percentile, and aerials 23rd percentile because he's only 5'10". I like my center backs about 6'1".
Like 6'4", monsters. But he could play next to Airy, right?
Lindelof.
Or Varane. But like you said, there's a lot of weight still to move. And that's honestly one of the more concerning things. Transfers, I know they're frugal. We don't have very much budget. So they are going to have to play the game in order to get deals that they can get. But we got to be shifting weight. And the only player that we have gotten rid of to date is Dino, bro. And not even selling him, not even making money on him, just having someone pick up his wages. Went to Nottingham Forest on a loan, sir. But that's got to be kind of a main focus for United. You got to shift some weight because of all these academy players as well that are trying to get into the squad or at least on preseason, and you can't have Phil Jones showing up. They had the video of them all coming back to Carrington, bro, and everyone's the young guys are excited. Then you just see Phil Jones show up, and he's got nothing to say. Phil Jones he just cashed in a check. He just cashed in a check at this point. Poor Phil Jones. Pink Lambo, bro.
I mean, honestly, like, give me a shout.
Phil Jones.
Next one here, we got to talk about Frankie. He did get engaged, so congrats to him. Romano tweeted out about 10 hours ago, agreement more close since Monday between United and Barcelona. 65 million euros fixed fee, 20 million euros in add-ons, structure to be discussed, and then personal terms. So that's the latest update. And then today, 2 hours ago, we got an update where Joan Laporta, who's the president of Barcelona, says, there are multiple clubs that want De Jong, not just United. We have no intention of selling him. He wants to stay. That's the quote from Barcelona as of 2 hours ago.
Last minute haggle. Or we're really fucked.
I mean, we're going to pay full price, right? I mean, this is the United this is Murtaugh.
Dragging your feet.
You know? Hey, man, like, this is what you can just go in and pay full ticket. You know?
Get it done in 2 days.
Not lose Ronaldo. Get Eriksen in. Do things with the club. Not haggle over the Glazer dividend. And that's what we're doing at the moment. So, makes no sense to me. If you want De Jong, it's much more of a priority for him to come in early, to get in to Carrington, to get in with Erik ten Hag, and get in with the squad. We've always said on this podcast, you got to do your business early, and then you can be opportunistic throughout the window. You need to get the big names in soon. Gives the team confidence, gives Ronaldo confidence, and then they need time to gel together. That is so critical. Bringing in players late at the deadline, everything works against you. And I just hate how we're playing transfer saga. I mean, the rule number one would be no sagas. Hey, you want to sell De Jong? Here's the deal. No. Look how no-nonsense Liverpool was with Nunes. Look at that. We were just like...
City are on their third signing, sir.
Boom.
City got in Calvin
Boom.
Phillips.
Liverpool. Done in a day. I think it was 36 hours, deal done.
No, it's ridiculous.
We were just,
haggling, bro. Haggling FC, like you said. And it's so important because, especially this summer, this is the first time we're going to have a proper tour where the boys can gel, travel together, get to know the new manager in an intimate setting where they're not going to be distracted by, everything around their normal personal lives. And you'd want him there. This is kind of the signing that we've been talking about for 6 weeks. This is what Ten Hag wants, his priority. He wants the deep holding midfielder that can unlock the attacking players in front of him. And it should have been done by now because he's got a fee. And other clubs are getting deals done in 3 days, 4 days, a week. Look at the way that Real Madrid gets business done. Scouse bastards, City, they just get shit done. They get it done quickly. They don't drag their feet. United almost like the spectacle. I feel like they like the mob. They like to just have it just drag out because people talking about United, people talking about United, people talking United. It just exactly. It just you don't ever come from a position of strength. People know they can drag you around. And like you said, it's like you want them in early so you can be opportunistic. And now we have a lot of wood to chop, and the player's about to leave for tour in a week. So TikTok.
But that's where the whole director of football issue comes in for me, because this is clearly just get in Ten Hag whoever he wants.
Yeah.
Which I think is that's efficient in some regards. But when it comes to De Jong and you go there and Barcelona want to play coy about it, be like, you say, hey, can you sell De Jong? They say, no. Okay, we're out. Just leave. And then you get another midfielder. And you have to go to number 2 on the list. Sorry, Eric, you're not getting your number 1 guy. We'll get your number 2 guy, but you know what? We're going to get the center back that you want too. I just feel it's just kind of, you got to be working through the list. And this whole Erik ten Hag has to have De Jong, and then we have to buy him, and that gives Barcelona leverage. And then they're just going to ring us up, put us over the barrel, because the Spaniards do that. They're good at negotiators.
They are.
I mean, they are. They know how to run a $1 billion deficit and run a club into a ground. But man, they know how to haggle. As far as transfer goes,
especially with United.
Dude, we get murdered on these. I don't know why. It's absolutely crazy. Christian Eriksen. Apparently, this deal. Every week it's 10. He's going to decide this week. He's going to decide this week. Apparently, I think he's on the fence because he wants to see other players move into United. That's kind of the
just like Ronaldo.
He doesn't want to come in unless he sees these players coming in. And obviously, I'm sure Ronaldo wanting out is a blow to Eriksen in a little way because he wants to move to a team that has chances to try to win some things. So, I mean, obviously Brentford don't. But I'm sure United is a risk for him, and he wants to see other players coming in, seeing the project get some excitement. So
100%.
this one on the fence.
He's going to keep his options open. He's a free agent, and this is not going to be good because.
But if that's the case, pay full ticket for Frankie, get him in, get Eriksson in.
No, I agree.
And then,
Because that would probably
just get some shit.
It would give some confidence to Ronaldo. It would help push Eriksson over the edge, which would be a great signing. The more you think about it, it's like he would fit right in with this team and what Eric's trying to do, and just some leadership as well. And by waiting. So are you there?
Sir, are you there?
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I was like the spaceship's calling down to us.
It's all good. Big shout out to Skype for the interruption in the pod here.
Always a pleasure.
So Anthony, this has gone pretty quiet. Apparently Ajax went like bigger fee for him than we can really afford. And you're starting to see it, right? It's just like the budget for United. You get 12 for Tyrell. You do 70 for Frankie, 75, 80 for Frankie, and that has to be all up front. That hurts us big time. We only have 95 million pounds in cash on the balance
That's
sheet.
got to be structured, because then they'd have no budget for
No,
nobody
Barcelona
else.
went up front. That's the big thing. And then you got 40 for Martinez, and you're already over how much cash we have on the balance sheet. Anything over would go on the credit card, but obviously we're structuring the hell out of it, which is why most of it isn't up front. That's kind of why you get these bigger budgets versus what cash we have. But still, if they want a lot of money up front for Frankie, we're pinching pennies at the moment. And like United don't have the money. Like we already drew up our revolver just on operating expenses alone in the last quarter of the year. So this is not looking good as far as just the overall budget to even get, like, if you were to say, hey, Tyrell, Anthony, De Jong, Eriksson, Martinez, and Ronaldo leaves. That
Sir, we have lost John temporarily, hopefully. Skype has been misbehaving all day. Let's see if he comes back on. He was speaking of, what the overall quality of the window would be. Is he back?
I'm back.
You're back. Keep going, sir. I was keeping him hot. John.
Can you hear me, sir?
John, I got you.
There you go. I went on 5G. I went off
Attaboy.
Wi-Fi. That might be the problem.
Boy. Talking about you're talking about the window that would be if we had signed. I think you're saying Anthony, De Jong, Eriksson, one or two other players.
Martinez and Tyrell. You do that, you're like, that's not bad, but Ronaldo leaves, and you're like, okay, we can do that for a year, but I don't think we can afford that. That's really the problem, is like even that window where I'm like, all right, like, okay, like that's like probably a step in that direction. Losing Ronaldo hurts, but like you got some good players in. I don't think we can afford that.
I mean, it's going to be a transition year either way. Like you said, there's going to be a lot of suffering in terms of our performances as the team gets to handle this kind of new approach. But that window would be a decent window, assuming you held on to CR7, and we would still be thin up front at number 9.
Thin.
Without
Thin,
CR7, we got
Anthony.
because CR7's like a beast, bro. He doesn't hurt. He can always play. He doesn't play as like high octane press as maybe Eric wants, but he will fit in, given that the rest of the players can go over time. But if he leaves, sir, we're gonna. Whew, I pity John Murtaugh because he's got no budget, and you have to sign. You have to replace the irreplaceable.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say, is like everyone wants to make it a debate about a certain player, but it's not like United has a $400 million war chest and it's like, great, Ronaldo left. We're going to sign all these great players now. That's really the core problem, is that we don't have that war chest. Beggars can't be choosers here. It's like we are dying to get bodies in, and anybody that's leaving that, if Martial left, no one's going to miss him. But like someone who scored 24 goals, you're going to miss him no matter what. No matter if he doesn't press or whatever you want to come up with, you're going to miss him, because this season is like, this off season is literally like, let's get through the next year, survive.
Yeah.
Like next season is like a punt to like 5th or 6th.
Yeah.
really, just like to get to the next window, to see if Manchester United could generate some cash so then we can spend some money, because we are really on the ropes. Financially, we're on the ropes. Footballing wise, we're on the ropes. Glazers out, sir. Green and gold always. Speaking of on the ropes, talk about the outgoings. I'm a pessimist as far as what the front office could do, but I thought we'd at least sell 40, 50 million pounds worth of players. I thought you and me could get 20, 25 for Dean Henderson, but he goes out on a season-long loan. Free. I don't know what we're doing there. That's bad business. Just like it was bad business bringing him out from Sheffield United. If you left him there, someone would have paid you 30 million for him. We bring him back, he doesn't play. No one wants to buy him now. That's the type of business United are not good at. Fulham, they offer 8.6 million for Pereira. I mean, that's a great deal. Got to be doing that one. That's 8.6 million we need, honestly. And then Eric Bailly was interested in going. Fulham was interested in him, but he doesn't want to leave. This is batshit crazy. We can't get Eric Bailly to leave.
He wants to get paid, sir. No one's going to pay as much as Manchester United does, but that's another play. We should look at a move.
Office. Bad business. It's just bad business right there. And so United potentially are going to put up 8.6 million. We can't sell Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Couldn't sell Dean Henderson. Can't sell Eric Bailly. Can't sell Phil Jones. Not willing to take the hit on Harry Maguire. So at the end of the day, we are not going to be raising significant money from our outgoings. I said I wanted to see how well we could sell this summer, and so far, looking like the movie we've seen before.
I was just thinking back to all the summers since we started this pod, and then all the summers since Sir Alex Ferguson retired, and it's just like, sir, this is just another one of these goddamn summers, and it's only gotten worse as the club has gotten more pinched for cash. And this is going to be a brutal one for the new regime in charge, at least on the front office side. They have a lot of work to do, and they're fighting with hands behind their back because they ain't got no 250 million like even Louis van Gaal had in his first window. It's like they're gonna have to be creative, and if you lose a CR7, that's going to be quite some big boots to fill. So United's going to be counting a lot on the Tony Martials and the Marcus Rashfords of the world. You know, McFred with cheese back on the menu, boys. Because you could have a case where like even Christian Eriksen doubts the ambition of Manchester United. He's like, I'm good. I'll just stay in London with my family instead of playing in six for a team that can't be bothered with a bunch of overpaid little babies.
All right, let's get into fan questions here. At Jamal Mota, quote, "Sirs, it's been a long transfer window already. I miss football so much. Those training clips look fresh. Happy we got a signing, but left back was hardly what we needed. Why aren't we linked to any CDMs? Anyways, hope we get Frankie and swoop. Arsenal for Martinez. As always, hashtag Glazers out." What do you make? Not linked to many CDMs. It seems like Frankie or a bust there.
That is a good point. I would have really anticipated that we would have gone for a CDM even in addition to Frankie. You know, especially because like, there's so many needs.
25 million.
Dude, that was a good deal. Spurs are doing deals. They're not sitting on their hands. Because we know, like you said, we need multiple midfielders. But I think they're going all in on Frankie and banking on Eriksen, who's not a CDM either. So I don't really understand that because I assume Frankie's going to get hurt. And then what are you at? You're back to having McFred. So, sorry, the lack of movement all over the pitch. Like I hate to say it, Ralph is right, dude. 10 players, open heart surgery. We need 10. This team needs so many bodies, and we got nothing doing. Matic, he ain't being replaced, sir. And that's a long list of players that have been replaced. Like you said, Lukaku. We never replaced Lukaku. We never replaced Paul Pogba. We're not going to replace Mata. So, big job. Big job to do this summer, and it might be just more of the same. Yelling at clouds.
Also, another issue with going all in on Frankie is that if you do this saga and then it blows up in your face or somebody pips you, then you're desperate and everyone knows to mark up whoever you go in for with them because you're desperate, right? So the risk of letting things linger are higher, right? So if you paid full ticket for Frankie 3 weeks ago, arguably Eriksen could be done. Arguably you'd be on to it's opportunity cost is what I'm trying to explain. There's a lot of things around this where the 10 or 15 you're haggling over isn't worth it because there's so much more business to do that you're wasting time. And then if this doesn't go through and it blows up, then you're looking for the second and the third guy, and everyone knows to mark up the price because you're desperate and it's late in the window. And so it's risky stuff from the front office. I thought they would have learned from Ed Woodward. We read those articles, and it looks like they're playing that playbook. What can you expect? They all worked under him, so they don't know much else. At Brinker02, quote, if the current rumors come to fruition and we complete DeYoung, Eriksson, Martinez, along with Malacia, what grade would you give it? Hashtag Lasers out.
It depends if you lose Ronaldo or not. That will have a big grading effect. If you lose Ronaldo and don't replace him, that's like an F. I think with Ronaldo, it's like a C minus because, dude, this team has so many players it needs to replace, and I'm sure the sales wouldn't have been adequate because you would have probably bought more players to kind of make up for it. But there's got to be more ambition shown. You're just showing, even like a Spurs of the world, who actually now have Champions League money, dude, they're using it. They're throwing their weight around. Richarlison, Basuma. They put a team together for Conte, and he's a good coach. So, like I said, the teams that are vying for the top four, they've never been more competitive. They never had more cash, and it doesn't seem like they've ever had better front offices. And they're making moves. And that opportunity cost you talked about, sir, is Nunez. Like, if they wanted Nunez, they had a chance. They could have got it done a couple of days. And instead, they dragged their fucking feet, and the Scousers realized that Mane was leaving, and that they needed to get a new striker or a new attacker, and they did. And instead, that's what happened, right? You get caught flat-footed, and the same thing could happen with Frankie. You're leaving yourself exposed to that. Even Chelsea was mentioned, I think yesterday. They could be in for him. That could be smoke, but it ain't done until it's done.
For me, this window would be a C+, assuming you keep Ronaldo. If you lose Ronaldo and you don't replace him, that's a real bad one. You know? Obviously this was he asked this question before Ronaldo, so I would say it's a C. It's like you address the midfield, you got a shot at center back, you bring in someone young. For it to be a B, you would need to be getting a starting right back.
Yeah, or
you need a starting. You need a starting right back. We need a right winger, and we need a striker. And so, like an A for me would be addressing all of those. Like a B would be no Ronaldo leaving, and you get a bang-on starting right back with that crew. That would be a B, and an A would be you bring in an attacker that we're dying for on the right. And then I'm fine playing Ronaldo, Martial in the hole because Rashford can play there too. There's some flexibility there, but you lose Ronaldo, you got to be in for a heavy number 9, and you're treading water. Like arguably, even keeping we need number 9 right now. It's crazy to not have another one. Igalo, where are you at? That's the type of deal we're going to see here.
Yeah, we are. Free deal. That's why we're getting Eriksson. That's why we're pushing so hard for that, because it's a free deal. They can afford.
This is what Manchester United are now. This is what we are. Yep. Call the Rolodex up. Who plays striker in the world for nothing?
China. Sign up for China, sir.
Exactly. Yeah. Call them up. At Ty Kircher, some longtime bum slowly left the club, one signing down. I'm getting excited for the season and the pain that will come with it. Excited for Erik Ten Hag to get this team's heads out of their butts. Hashtag Lasers out. Ty, I couldn't agree more. Regardless of the signings, regardless of the front office, Erik Ten Hag's going to be working his ass off, and he's going to be grinding these players, getting anything out of them. So I am confident. The person I'm most confident in is Erik Ten Hag. And that's great. That's a good feeling because hopefully this, over 2 or 3 summers, this could be solved. And he'll find the gems in the team. Like, I trust Erik Ten Hag. And so the positive is him. But the negative is, why can't this multi-billion-dollar corporation get competent people in who can do the business that he needs to succeed? Because at the end of the day, Rangnick said it too. He's like, Pep Guardiola has a world-class front office. Jurgen Klopp has world-class people behind him. No manager does it by himself. And that's the problem with Manchester United. We've had good managers. We've had shit owners the entire time. And we've had people not knowing what they're doing as far as acquiring players.
100%. It's 100% true. And you don't get it from just investing in one aspect. Half investing in the squad, getting a world-class manager. I'm sure they didn't even get all the assistants that he wanted. He probably wanted more staff. They didn't give it to him, knowing this club. And at the end of the day, you have the same kind of front office that are just outgunned. They're outgunned because they're not experienced, and no one expects them to be able to hold their own with people that have been doing it for 20 years, best in the business. And they're getting outclassed left, right, and center. And they don't have the money. So it's like they're playing, a game that they're really not like even equipped to be able to challenge at. So we're going to struggle as long as United is owned by the Glazers. But I am hopeful that at least we've got a top-class manager. I'm excited about him. When I see him on the training ground, I'm excited because there's a proper intensity. It just he gives me the Vibes FC, sir. We're gonna be Vibes on Thursday nights, baby. Europa League, nothing else, and we're gonna enjoy every second of it because I love this club. It's gonna take a long time to get back to the promised land, but at least you would hope we would have some semblance of a football style next year that we can kind of enjoy to watch.
Oh, that will be there. That will be there. I don't know if the players will be. That's the only problem.
No doubt.
Look, that's the podcast. We are the American Red Devils. We are for fans, by fans. Pod never sleeps, whether anybody's sick,
Skype
whether
issues.
Skype is down. We apologize for that profusely. But we're do it live here at the podcast. Again, we're just giving you the straight takes that we have from the seat of the couch, watching this great team for almost 20 years. We've seen it all. And this front office trying to tell me that Richard Arnold's first telephone call with investors, we got a world-class front office. All the articles they come out with, we're doing it different, and then you get this summer, man. It's just like those guys be sweating wherever they are. If you want to support this great podcast, check us out on Patreon. Fill out our ending survey. It's on Twitter. Join our Discord. Write a review on iTunes. Check out our website. We got a store there as well at www.americareddevils.com. Sir, give them our top downloads last 7 days.
Top city, number 1. How you doing? Reykjavik, Iceland. Appreciate you. Cupertino, California. Carrollton, Texas. Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. New York. Vernon Hills, Illinois. Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Columbus, Indiana. Freeport, Texas. Appreciate you. And last but not least, Gurgaon, India. We also got Blackpool, UK on the list. Appreciate all the American Red Devils listening in, week out. We could not do it without you. Happy 4th of July to those celebrating Independence Day on Monday. And, sir, we got preseason right around the corner. We're playing the Scouse Bastards down in Southeast Asia, Australia and Thailand, if I remember correctly, sir. Hey, the Eric Ten Hag era is here. It's also, unfortunately, the Richard Arnold and Murtaugh era. So hopefully they can get their shit together because if Ronaldo leaves, that's going to be the story of the summer. And it's already been a crazy summer, sir. Lukaku going back for a $10 million loan after a $100 million deal. Well, should have replaced him, but I'm glad we sold him.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm glad he's not playing number. I might take him at United, honestly.
Sign him up.
If Ronaldo's going to leave and it's Martial, I'd take Lukaku and that club foot all day. That was another cursed jersey that you bought. You bought the Lukaku right when it came out. I do remember that one.
I love a number 9, and I always get burned.
Yeah, Martial as well. You can get that one.
Martial. The worst is the Falcao, sir. Don't forget the Falcao.
Yeah, we go on the cursed jersey list is very long. You got a song for us to end on?
You know it. Guess who it's for?
Viva Ronaldo.
Sir, don't leave. Don't leave us, Ronaldo. We love you. Don't leave. Have a good week, everybody.